one of the city's most notorious gangs.
Critical Thinkers Podcast.
So crack all my life, ever since I was 11 years old. While the other young boy was trying to, in the park, playing football or baseball, I was on the streets getting money.
They label us a gang for coming together for something positive, for a movement to help the people. I mean, I know where I stand. I know I'm not a part of no gang.
We don't have no colors. A lot of my friends, they like to represent their Haitian flag that represent their country.
I like to extend high honors to the ancestors. Those ancestors being the ancestors of the Nile Valley that were responsible for some of the greatest civilizations that the world have ever witnessed. Those civilizations were predicated on the principles of Ma'at, which we define as truth, order, and righteousness.
Well, over here, critical thinkers, the truth don't need no support. God made Haitians of the Haiti made Zoe. I would like to welcome y'all to another episode of Critical Thinking. Y'all know our motto over here, the truth don't need no support. And OG Kenny K slogan, God made Haitian and little Haiti made Zoe. What's good, my brother Junk, today, man?
What's going on?
Gotta say to the camera before we start this story.
Man, first and foremost, I'd like to give a shout out to little Haiti, baby. We in the building. It's your main man, Junky Junk, coming back at y'all. Y'all know what it is. Little Haiti soldier. Once again, man, we'd like to introduce y'all to another episode of Critical Thinkers Podcast. We who sit here, we only tell the truth. Because we know what it do, Kester. The truth don't need no support. Also, everything you watch here, hey man, it don't take nothing for y'all to go and investigate, because fair to investigate forfeit your right to speak anyway.
Hello.
So we like to, welcome y'all out to another episode right here on Critical Thinkers Podcast, man. Me and the big homie. Shout out to all the homies, man. Shout out to the big kids. Shout out to Happy. We here, baby.
All day. Shout out to Lil Haiti, 6'8". Y'all boys stand up. We here.
For sure.
Junky Junk. Today, I feel like giving out flowers today. I'm giving out flowers today, Junk. And
what you mean?
What I mean by, we come from Little Haiti, Junk.
For sure.
A lot of legendary niggas came from Little Haiti. Legends. In their own right. Stood on their grounds.
Right.
Brothers like Blase, Ken Ray, Duck.
Shout out to Ken Ray, R.I.P. baby, the real one.
Duck. Shout out to Kenny the White Williams. My dog they gave my dog 40 years at 20 years old. He did 20,
sure.
Standing up.
For sure.
Lower check.
Yeah.
But Little Haiti itself,
yeah.
A lot of legendary brothers did their thing.
Yeah.
And they deserve their flowers.
Yes.
You understand me?
Yes.
And real brothers like you, Junk, I'm going to give you your flowers while you're alive, my brother, because look here, Junk. I met a lot of real niggas in my time.
For sure,
and Junk,
for sure.
you one of them niggas, you always stood on your principles. See, in every clique, it need a nigga like you, Junk. You one of them niggas, you don't never think about yourself. You always thinking for the better of the team.
For
You
sure.
the type of nigga that you'll go,
Team effort, baby.
if a nigga can't hunt, Junk, you'll go out there and hunt for everyone and come home and bring home the food.
For sure, baby.
And that's one thing I could say. And you've been dealt a lot of fucked up cards. Even your first bid, you went to prison for something you didn't do, but you stood on your principles. 5 years like a soldier.
For sure.
Right? And then the second case, we're gonna get into that, but you one of them brothers that I think the world need to hear your story. You understand me? Because your principles and morals, they don't make them like you no more. And
sure,
coming
man.
from the legendary clique, Zoe Pound, and all us was legends in our own right.
For sure,
Mecca Zoe, Solo, Chubb, Nick, C-Hound,
God bless the team,
Rip,
Joe.
Louis Joe, one of the realest niggas I know, my brother.
Pooh, baby.
You understand me? Pooh. Okay,
For sure.
listen, the quiet assassin.
Yeah.
But you know what? A lot of legendary niggas was in our clique, Junk.
For sure.
And Junk, me and you go back from Morningside.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't know, we ain't just met in the 90s. This shit been going on since the beginning, from Morningside, Eton Park.
Yeah, for sure.
Like all my niggas, we go back from childhood, Sandlock, football days, playing kickball, Morningside Park, Eton Park, eating free lunch at Eton Park.
Yeah.
Right? This is where we come from, the library. grew up under real niggas that taught us the game. Young, solid niggas, everybody solid. We all went through our little thing, went to the prison, came back out, stood on business.
Yeah.
And we formed this thing called Zoe Pound Junk, and you was one of them brothers. You was very, very important to this Zoe Pound situation.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people don't just really getting to meet you. The internet really getting to meet you. I know the foundation that you play in this situation, how important you was to this whole organization. You understand me? And when you failed, it was a big loss. It was a big loss, Junk. I remember it like yesterday. I'm there in my bed, relaxing, beautiful day. I get the call. I'm one of the homies. I'm like, what's dog? When I got that news that Junk went out of town and got busted, dog, it was a fucked up day in the hood. Right. I felt that shit in my heart, Junk. And you stood like a soldier. And you went through it, Junk. You know, you ain't just got popped and went and did 2-3 years. You understand me? You did some real time. You know, if I'm not mistaken, they gave you, what, 17 years?
Yeah, they gave me 17 years, Kester.
17 years,
I had to do 85%, so
and
I had to
did
bust
it.
15.
And the one thing, I heard some things, I heard a lot of things about them stories, Junk. But what I never heard, Junk never fold, Junk never bend. And the one thing, Junk, this is what I want to give you your flowers for. Because I remember vividly, this is what separates you from a lot of niggas. You understand me? Money don't make the man, it's his character. And that's one thing I can say about you, my brother. Your character gonna stand up against anything. I remember vividly when you first caught your case, and we had one of the rap brothers end up getting caught up in the case. I remember vividly you on the phone with me telling me, Kenny K, I'ma free him. And for a nigga to not think about himself, willing to fall on that sword and take that time, because back then trafficking dope, dealing with the feds, dealing with a rat, you knew you had some time coming, and your record, for you to make that conscious decision to be willing to go do 20, 30 years or life just to free one of your brothers, see, that's what separates you from the rest. That's what made you qualified to be in this Zoe Pound shit. Because you was built, you was born, your quality of what you stood on. You understand me? And for you to be willing at that time, and you 20-something years old, your life just began. And you was willing to go stand on that sword, fall on it for one of your niggas to be free, for him to come out here to sacrifice so he could have this rap career, this Zoe Pound shit to go forward. That's what I'm giving you your flowers for. Not for you being a real nigga, because being a real nigga, you was born a real nigga. So you couldn't be nothing but a real nigga.
Appreciate that.
But what I'm giving you your flowers for is your integrity, your love that you have for this shit called Zoe Pound, and you put the love of your niggas before yourself. You will sacrifice yourself, your body, time. You done did it twice. From the first case into this case. You understand me? You ain't think about yourself. You ain't hire no lawyer and hide behind your lawyer and let your other brothers fall on a case that you knew. You asked them brothers to come on this with you. You understand me? You stood on it. That's why I'm giving you your flowers. That's what make you a legend in Little Haiti. You understand me? Not being a real nigga. Not knowing, yeah, you gonna bust your hammer, but more than that, you got integrity. And when your love that you have for your niggas, that's something that need to be admired. But you know what I want to hear, Junk, before I give you your flowers, because I know you went through it when you got busted in Alabama. I want you to tell the internet the story, Junk, because I know it's a long story, but take over, Junk. Tell us the internet about that situation.
Yeah, man. Man, Kester, man, yeah, boy, I appreciate, you know what I'm saying, the honors, you feel what I'm saying, and I know it's genuine, because, bro, me and you know, before I caught that case, bro, you know, we had a lot of good times, bro, we broke bread together, bro, we had the baddest broads at our time together, me and you know what I'm saying? We doubling up on dates, going out with the 2 baddest reds in the city. In actuality, shout out to China. China is actually the outcome of what you used to deal with, and you gotta stop in China. You know what I'm saying? Y'all lay around for China, because she coming out real soon. But, you know, lo and behold, Kester, man, that was a hell of an experience, man. I can remember how, you know what I'm saying, at that particular time, you know, we was in the heat of, you know what I mean, doing our thing. We had done put in work. I'm talking about we did the Tear It Down song with Cash Money already at that time. We had did the Back to the Cages with Rake One for the Woo, you know, man, the ups and downs. I mean, you know. So at that particular time, Kesa, that was like 2002. I can remember so clear because me and Matt had just came from New York about 6 months before I fell on my last beat, you know, and it was a good vibe going on at that time, man. We come from New York, like I said previously in a few videos, you know, back. I don't know which one it is, but me and Mac had just came from New York. We had the contract, you know what I'm saying, from Warner Brothers at that time. We came home, it was all love. You know, we let all the homies know what time it was about this contract. You know, we planned the meeting for all the executives and all the homies that was on the business side to look at the contract, to see if we agree with what was on the contract so we can move forward with the contract. Lo and behold, man, you know what I mean? Even at the same time that we was preparing and we had did all this for the album and we had it canned and we was on our way to get that deal, money still had to be made, homie, because you already know the same thing that took us down, which was living that street life while we was, you know, pursuing our goal and our dream with the music. We still had to make that money on. We still had to go get that dollar. So, man,
hold on, Junk, but in your defense, that was 99% of niggas in the 90s who had one foot in the music game, the other foot in the dope game.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, because the music wasn't paying.
Right.
So that was a norm. But go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, and in actuality, that was that era. It was an era for, you know, that was a very important era because in that era, remember that was the Master P and Cash Money era where independent labels just had hit the scene as being the next thing to do. This is the time when dudes like the Master P's that was the innovator or the motivator for independent labels at that time. Dudes was getting away from these major labels, dicking them and getting over. So Master P was the first one to break through, you know, where only a distributor, nobody else but a distributor was getting a percentage off the label. So 85% of everything that label made was going to the independent label. So yes, everybody was, you know what I'm saying, trying to do it around that time. So was us. We was independent, so on and so forth. But like I said, I had to go back up the road. I had got a beat from my dude, but I had got a chirp. You know what I'm saying? At that time, we had the prime codes, you know what I'm saying? So I had got the little chirp. You know, my partner hit me. I ain't gonna say my partner. You know what I'm saying? The nigga I was bringing work to in Alabama. You know what I'm saying? I-Cap Jr., Cole Mark.
AKA Rat Country nigga.
Cole Rat Country nigga. Got the call from him. At that particular time, in case you gotta understand, it was 2 episodes. It was the episode when all the boys was going up there together. Remember, we all was up there together, all the homies, we was eating. That's them times when player to player, no cap, man, we was bringing over 500,000 a week. I'm gonna just put it at 500,000 because everybody was there. Me, Mac, Olo, Pooh, God bless his soul, Kurt, Blind. We was all up there getting money, you know what I'm saying? Our own money, you know what I'm saying? So, man, money on time. The second time around, I came back up by myself because, you know, niggas had done got rich up there. Then niggas started doing the music. So we had a little situation with this same country nigga. You feel me? Because we bringing this nigga to Pat Caster and we giving him room to wiggle where he could make his bread. But the nigga always came short 2-3 stacks of the pack. Even though that nigga was bringing 60s, 70s, 80s, every time we dropped to him, he bringing us 60, 70, 80 bands.
He pinching from each one.
Yeah, he pinching, you know, that old crackhead ass shit. He still come short 2-3 bands. So we used to have to let buddy know, hey, listen, my nigga, the same way we busting our ass, taking penitentiary chances, driving 10, 11 hours, risking our lives, nigga, bringing you to work and bringing you good work, nigga, and leaving you room to make money, a nigga want all theirs back. Because remember at that time, like I said, you know, we getting work, you know what I'm saying, from the Zoes in Haiti, bro. They dropping it 10, 15 at a time, and we got to motherfucking give them their bread.
And they don't want a dollar short.
They don't want to, they ain't trying to hit it.
And they don't want no dollars.
You feel me? Exactly. Because we getting it on consignment, and they giving us 10, 15 at a time at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So we trying to let the nigga, you know what I'm saying, understand that, hey, bro, if a nigga bringing you every gram, that means a nigga want every piece
dollar.
of change. Every dollar. But the nigga used to take it for granted because you know how niggas always watching your pockets, especially when you going out of town and you the plug, niggas looking at it like, oh, they can stand it.
Mm-hmm.
So the nigga used to come short every now and then. So the homies got tired of it because the nigga, after so many trips up, back and forth, and he coming short of 2, 3 grand, what you think? Eventually, you know what I'm saying? The tab was getting bigger and bigger. Mm-hmm. So it got to one point in time where the tab got to damn near 80 bands. So now we looking at it as a whole like this nigga must be think we pussy.
Mm-hmm.
So now, by that time we have a meeting with him because a nigga didn't want to just dump it on this nigga ass playing with that bread just to show him that we bought that life. It was deeper than that because whenever we went up there, it was like a family thing. When we made bonds with this country nigga, we let him know it's blood in, it's blood out. So we knew the mamas, the daddy, we knew the whole family. So now when he started tripping, coming short of that bread, you know what I'm saying? A nigga had to think, Kenny K, cause we like, damn, why even waste a bullet on this nigga and wet this nigga, you know what I'm saying, when he ain't even worth it. You know what I'm saying? Niggas bossed up. Niggas bankroll is on swole. We doing this Zoe Pound shit. We transitioning, you know what I'm saying, to a whole nother arena where we see that we approaching a $1 billion industry. So niggas like, man, let's just go holler at this nigga and let this nigga know what time it is before his mama catch him in one of them wooded areas in Mobile stinking. You know what I'm saying? So we hollered at the nigga, had a meeting, let the nigga know, hey, my nigga, you owe a nigga, you gotta pay a nigga. When we bring this dope up here, we don't bring that shit short. We bring you gram for gram, nigga, so we want our bread. So niggas be like, oh, folk, you know, nigga go get that bread, oh man, you know what I'm saying, I'm the last Don. You know, he called himself the last Don at the time. That's the P area. He was the last Don of Pritchard, Alabama, literally, because that was the most money getting nigga in Mobile, Alabama. That nigga ICAP. He is known. You know what I'm saying? So, long story short, politic with the nigga. He said he gonna have that bread straight. He gave us a date that he gonna give us that bread, that he owed it on the back end. Never gave that money up. He continued to go 2, 3 bands in a hole. So the homie's like, you know what, nigga finna unplug with this nigga. Nigga gonna show this nigga that nigga don't even need you, nigga. We doing you a favor, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Cause a nigga, mind you, we still got the trap in Greenville, even though that trap had got busted. You know what I'm saying? When Red Eye got caught up in that trap, all we did was relocate it to another part of Greenville. Then we had Chattanooga on lock. You know what I'm saying? The homies had motherfucking Cricket Letter on lock. That's Mississippi, y'all. Cricket Letter I. Nigga had Mississippi on lock, Kenny K. And all the little cuts and crevices in Florida, niggas had little spots. You know what I'm saying? Pensacola. And then the homies like you down the way. So it was like we had other options, but the nigga thought we was playing because he felt like, even though it's right, he was bringing that bread. Him and another, one of the real homies up there in Alabama, which I ain't gonna mention this nigga name because he a real nigga. So I'm not gonna put his name out there because at the same time, he could be still out there eating. So anyway, the boys left from up there. They showed them, everybody. We all abandoned that shit. We left. Cold turkey. So I know the next morning, that nigga probably thought it was a game. He calling niggas numbers, niggas ignoring his phone calls. He thought it was a game. Nigga left him alone. So about 3-4 months went by. We didn't never go back to Mobile no more. We had to make millions in that spot. Just with the 6-5 homies that was in that spot. Everybody had 300-400 bands when we left that spot to their name. In the cup, in in every nigga stash, every nigga I know for a fact at least had 300-400 bands after niggas had to spun, bought cars, niggas bought their mama's houses, you know, all in Haiti. I know for a fact that niggas had at least 300-400 bands, every nigga that was going up there eating. So he thought it was a game and a nigga caked up. We stopped going that way because at the same token, Kitty K, you gotta understand that at that time, Tony them, they dropping weight. We got a couple of other homies in the hood, not to be mentioned, that was dropping weight on the boys because we moved that weight. So, nigga, like, we ain't even gotta go out of town. Nigga got a nice stash. You know what I'm saying? We need to be down here focusing on the music anyway. You know what I'm saying? And we getting little, you know, bricks here and there on consignment where niggas in our area, niggas from Overtown, niggas in Liberty City, remember how it was? The studio was the spot. Niggas come cop.
Everybody came through.
You feel me? So he thought it was a game. He ringing, niggas ain't come up there. So bomb. Kenny K, me, I'ma say I agree. Cause you know I love my young, and at that time I had to have every dollar. You feel me? So 4-5 months go by, you know, we in the hood most of the time. We focusing on the music, you know, we patching our shit up, we getting our shit on lock as far as the music is concerned. We did the video, all this stuff. So now, after them 4-5 months passed by, K-Star, I realized when I go to my little stash, you know how when you got the little stash back in the day, Kitty K, you know you always go check that joint. I don't care if you check, you might check that bitch in the morning, you gonna come in the afternoon, you gonna look, nigga grab them stacks, you know how you just play with your money, you just like, nigga, this 100, and you count that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying, you making sure that baby still left. This time when I go to the little stash, Kitty K, I'm like, boy, we been spending a little bread, because you already know, when we was doing shows, we looked like we was cash money millionaire. We got the bimbos, everybody linked up, everybody fresh, all that good stuff. So now, them 4 months, boy, a little dent was put in the pocket. So I was like, man, I ain't too comfortable at how my stash look. I need to double down a little bit to make that thing get back to the 300-400 mark. You know what I'm saying? And Kenny K is so crazy. That's why you never, in the dope game, you never, for all y'all D-boys out there now, or if you yamming, whatever you doing, never set a goal when you doing dirt, you know what I'm saying, of how much, what's your goal as far as money concerned that you trying to reach. Because when you look at it like that in the game, trust me, it's bad luck. By the time you try to reach, it seems like every time you almost get close, all hell break loose. So you know me, my range was to just get $1 million cash in the game and I was gonna quit. But I always stayed in them 100,000s case that we couldn't get past. You know, at one point I almost got to about 600,000 and all I could ever say is I was once a $500,000 in the game. No cap. I was $500,000. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be a millionaire. Long story short.
I call it nigga rich. I was
nigga rich.
I've been nigga rich.
Because we know for real that really,
yeah, that's nigga rich.
That ain't no money. But being 24, 25 at that time and we balling, nigga, I'm righteously fresh out of prison almost, nigga. This 2001 at this time when I actually went back up there. You know what I'm saying? I got out in 97, so that's like 4 years later. You feel me? So I said, man, damn. I hollered at a couple of the homies. I'm like, boy, I don't know how y'all bread looking, but my stash kind of looking a little low. You know, low back then is once you halfway less than what you had.
Once you get down to a 50 ball, you know it's time to get back up.
You broke, because you really already know. At that time, if you caught 2 or 3, you like, damn, if I caught 2 or 3 right now at 15, that's 40. That's only 3 big. That's most of mine. Nah, I want to be able to caught 4 or 5 and still got hundreds of thousands. So that's my mind. So I'm like, hollered at a couple of the homies, like, boy, nigga, man, I'm trying to shake back up that road, bro. You know what I'm saying? A nigga gon', nigga let Buddy suffer enough. You know what I'm saying? We penalized him enough. I know he get the picture now. A couple of the homies, I hollered at them. They ain't want to go back, but they like, junk, nigga straight, nigga in. Especially when we was doing the music. Niggas don't really want to go back up the road because shit had started getting juicy, Kitty K. You know, niggas rolling with the Cash Money billionaires. You know,
ballin'.
We balling like every day. We was some type of celeb. If it wasn't Guru, it was Bushwick. If it wasn't Bushwick, the Cash Money Brothers in town. If it ain't the Cash Money Brothers in town, it was the Lost Boys in town. It was always some type of celebrity that, you know, we was around. We were considered ghetto celebs at the time, but we doing music, so it made all the sense. So Kenny K, none of the homies want to shoot back up. At that particular time, Red Eye already had his album done. We working on the Zoe Pound album. We pushing the Zoe Pound, but at the same token, all the artists knew, and we knew as a label, that evidently after the Zoe Pound album, maybe 1 or 2 albums, they're gonna start requesting or demanding single artists, you know what I'm saying, albums. Like, they're gonna request a Red Eye album, they're gonna request a G Child album, they're gonna want to hear Mac do an album. That's just the way it goes with the groups. So at that particular time, Oz had been working on his album. Oz had his album done in 2001. So G Child, you know what I'm saying, being that he one of the homies, day one homies, you know, from the Palms and everything, G Child was like, shit. When I hollered at G Child like, shit, I'm trying to go back up and get my shit up. You feel what I'm saying? Because I missed the first round with y'all boys, because nigga was working on putting music out for the Zoe Pound album. So now I need to go stack my bread up so I can work on my album. So it made all the sense. So I'm like, G, let's ride. So me, G, a couple of the other homies, me, G, Zito. Shout out to Zito, man. Zito Beach, man. That's the homie day one. Me, G, and Zito fell out there. Bam, we relocate. You feel me? So this time when I went back up the road, case I didn't really want to, you know, even stay too close to Mobile. You know what I'm saying? So I had met this, you know what I'm saying, chick of mine that I was fucking with. She was going out to Tuskegee. So what we did was, a couple of the homies was in Tuskegee. Remember, Boy out there was getting that money in Monkey Town. That's the Montgomery.
Shout out to Boy Eye. Boy Eye, let me let you know if you watching this, I'm still the king of the fat boys.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And nigga, you still owe me. You know for what?
Boy Eye.
Nigga, you know you still owe me that bread, nigga. Alright? So anyway, so yeah, Boy out them up there. So boom, we shoot up to Tuskegee, you feel me? So when we shoot up to Tuskegee and shit, I holler at Boy out them, you know, them boys doing their thing, them boys eating, them boys had Bama State, you know, Auburn and all them little, the campus is right there. Alabama State and Auburn is right there. You know, that shit sandwiched Tuskegee. Alabama State on this side, Auburn on this side, Tuskegee in the middle. Historical black college. You feel me? So the boys up there getting bread. So I get up there, me, G, you feel me? We get our shit together, we get our own little crib, we lay it on down, you know how we do it, we form allegiance, we get our shit on point, boom, we shoot back to Mobile from Tuskegee. So I had a personal conversation with the nigga ICAP, the same nigga, you know what I'm saying, that started my case. You're gonna find out later when I start letting it be known, it's the same nigga that started my case. It's the ones that smoke bread with you that'll come and get you. You know what I'm saying? The niggas that you put on will be the main reason why you gone. Believe that. So we go, me, G, Zito, we go holler at the nigga. I have a meeting with the nigga, let him know, yes indeed, you still owe that tab for the boys. And I'm coming in representation of the boys. You still owe that money, but at the same token, we gonna drop that thing on you, one smoke, so you can eat. So while you eating, that's right, and you better be lucky that I'm the only one that felt some type of sympathy for you to come back up here and break bread with you, player. But you gonna get that money up, you know what I'm saying? And he agreed like, man, you know, on the last dawn, you know I got the whole city on lock. And he did have that. He had that city on lock. Now, he didn't have the muscle behind it. Now, if he had that muscle, we was the muscle behind him. But if he had that muscle, he really would have had the whole Mobile on lock. But he did have his side, that Birmingham Street side on lock. Because them niggas from Queen Court, they wasn't having it. That's the same niggas that we had to go motherfucking show out and do a demonstration for his ass, because they robbed his ass before. The niggas on that Queen Coast side wasn't having it. They was killers. So anyway, go back up there, renegotiate with this nigga. Boom, it's back on, dropping the bricks on.
Okay.
And then the funny part about it, Kenny K, you know the boys, I think that's why I had a strong ass punch, because the wrist game. You know when a nigga whipped him, that motherfucking crack was a fucking job.
Mm-hmm.
Nigga working every
I got corporate tone in my wrist now. I'm fucked up, man.
I believe. But Kenny K, bro, whipping them things up all day, Kenny K. Sometimes we used to be in the kitchen. Kenny K, literally, me, G, and Zito used to be in that kitchen cooking dope. We got the radio blasting, you know, so you don't hear all that click from the beaker and all that shit, because we cooked the beakers at that time, and we had the little kettle pots, the little iron pots where we cook on the stove, OG style. We learned to cook that bitch OG style, because in that motherfucking microwave, we seen a lot of niggas catch cases with that microwave. When them feds come, all they do grab that microwave, they go to residue.
Residue all in.
There it goes. So we learned from the old school Zoes that taught a nigga the game and how to whip. Cook old style. Cook on the stove, in the pot, let the fumes get in the air. You air that shit out at the end, you do a nice cleaning with your alcohol, your peroxide, your everything. After you do, you sterilize the place, vinegar, all that. So, bro, Kenny K, dog, we used to cook so much dope, Kenny K. It got to a point we used to have to wear masks because we know we was getting high cooking all them cookies. Kenny K, we would literally cook up, because remember, whip game. So we put in the water. So the normal 36, at the end of the day, we might turn a 36 to 56 ounces by blowing it up.
56 grams.
No cut. Good dope. Blow up, could take a little water, make our clientele happy, never have no complaints. The dope is good, it's just blowed up. You know what I'm saying? We know we used to be high. Kenny K, used to be times when a nigga cooking in that kitchen, nigga find themselves like, know it like that. Nigga be like, y'all heard that? Dog, we was literally getting high off the fume. Cause a nigga be like, y'all heard that? Nigga go peek in the blinds, Kenny K, see a robo out there. Kenny K,
You crazy.
dog, we know, I'm telling you, after we cook, sometimes we used to be like, when we done and we done sterilized and cleaned up, we'll get us a meal somewhere at one of them spots in the country, and after we eat, you'll feel yourself calming down. So that's how we knew we used to be high. And then we'll go to talk, we're like, bro, it was high, dog. Because every time we thought we heard something or we thought we saw a light, when we go, we clear. And we was standing on the hill, so they gotta come up the hill to even, get us. So we gon' see it. So Kenny K.
Country nigga. Get to the country nigga. Let's go.
We cooking. So now the nigga ICAP backballing with this nigga. Dropping it to him, he bringing the money, y'all. Dropping it to him, he bringing the money, y'all. Man, listen, it was so sweet back in the days, Kenny K, because we can go in, give him 50 cookies, and in 3 days,
He called him back.
that nigga called him back. So it used to be a trip because they used to spook a nigga out like, God damn, the fuck this nigga do it? But we already knew about him. Well, I knew about him from the first trip when we was going out of town because, all the boys was going up there. He knew everybody, he fucked with everybody. So a nigga knew that he could turn that motherfucking dope. And that was his weakness too. He fucked with everybody, so everybody knew his business. Long story short, Kenny K.
Thank you.
Bam. This nigga, he fuck around and catch a case.
Okay.
Right? He catch a case.
We get into the juicy part in
So
the next.
now,
When
he catch his case, he caught his case for something outside of what me and him was dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Word was that he was so greedy, he was taking care of so many hoes, he was making money. You know how that is. When you live in a glamorous life, he got 3-4 bitches. He got to keep up with them and his household. You know what I'm saying? He already had kids. He had his own shit going on. So the money we was making, it wasn't enough to take care. So he called himself going on a lick, Kenny K. Word to his mother. You know what I'm saying? He went on a lick. Supposed to be in a couple of 100 pounds of weed and some guns. He get caught. He go to jail for that. So one odd day, I'm calling the nigga up. I'm ringing the nigga because he had about like 30 bands. I gave him about like a 30 band pack. So he had like 30 bands that he had to return for a nigga, give him a pack. Mind you, a nigga couldn't just give him too much because he working off that money. He was giving a little bit of money at a time off the old bill too. Bang. So I'm calling this nigga this morning, he ain't answering, so I'm like, damn, the fuck? You know what I'm saying? I don't got Mom Duke them number at that time because when I came back, I only got his number. Now, before, all the boys, we had mom number, dad number. This time, I only got his number, so I'm like, fuck, I ain't hearing from this nigga. So I'm getting worried, K-Stuff. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna ride without no dope. I'm gonna just go pick up the money. Mm-hmm. Therefore, I can find out what's going on in the event, you know, we can't, you know, bring him nothing to work. That way we don't have to double back with the dope. So I said, I ain't gonna bring no dope. We're gonna just go over there and see what's going on. Shorty shit, stand Kenny K, pull up in his yard. I see his dad. You know, his dad was a cool ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Hollered at his dad. His dad pulled us in the crib, told us ICAP went to jail. I'm like, fuck. Cause you know, with that jail call, I lost the 30 bands. Plus, when he still owed the boy, I'm like, fuck. Damn. So they explained to me what happened. You know what I'm saying? I tried to wait there that day to see if he was gonna call so he could kind of give me the in-depth story. He never did. So now Kenny K, we riding back. We might have smoked an ounce of weed just riding back 2 hours. That's how stressed I was. I'm just telling G them, roller. We riding back to Tuskegee, my nigga. It's like 2 hour ride. I'm like, damn, I don't know what to do. So now Kenny K on the next day, ICAP's sister, she was a G. I ain't even gonna put her name out there because she still remains a G to me. She a G. She called my phone, bro. She had my number from Cap because I guess ICAP, you know, had gave her number just in case something happened to him. She can call me just like it happened. So she called me. I'm looking at the phone number like, who the fuck this phone number is? Because I didn't have a number. But it got the 334. That was the area code. So I'm like, fuck. I answered it. When I answered it, it's her. Oh, Jay, man, you gotta fuck with me, man. I'm like, fuck with you. She was like, look, my husband, you know, this the love of my life. This the nigga that was giving ICAP all his money back when you was bringing ICAP that motherfucking work. This nigga was the one that didn't come a dollar short and he bought his business. She rooting for her nigga. Cause now her brother gone, she want me to deal with her brother-in-law cause she know now my husband could get this money on. Mm-hmm. So it was fair game to me because I was like, when we was up there, our motto was that we gonna keep it in the family anyway. So we gonna fuck with fam only. We wasn't up there just going wild, going to get any nigga. We don't know who these niggas is. We kept it in the family. So righteously, he was the next candidate for real. He fit for that. So, you know, when she hollered at me, I'm like, I don't know this nigga like that though. You feel me? I didn't even know that he was the nigga that was bringing majority of the money back to Cap. So what Cap would do is when we give him a 50 ball, he give this nigga like 30 of them because the nigga could move and the nigga bring it dollar for dollar. Because now when I finally gave in to it, I was like, shit, why would I book that? And I just lost ICAP and I need to keep this money on going. And I know Nika G. I done said her name. Fuck it. I know Nika G. So I'm like, damn, and Mac was fucking on that pussy. You know what I'm saying? So I know my homeboy had that on lock. So I'm like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I could trust me because I know she a G. Remember the time when me, Blind, and Mac caught the case when we first came back up there when all the boys was getting money up there. Remember when Mac got out of prison, me, Mac, and Blind had went back up there when they had bust us and took the money and the gun. Nika was there. And she held firm. That was her crib they bust. And they found some weed, a scale, and some more shit. And they were trying to scare her like they gonna charge her. She showed a nigga that day that she was a G. So before I fast forward, when she gave me that call, and I thought about it, I said, you know what? I gotta respect it, Nika G. I'm gonna see what's up. So she put the nigga on the phone, nigga Fat Rat. I should have known something. This nigga named Fat Rat. But at the time, it ain't dawned on me. But this nigga name is Fat Rat, which he became a fat rat on my case. So, the nigga get on the phone, y'all folk, you know what I'm saying? Man, respect, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm happy that, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna take the opportunity and fuck with me, man, but trust me, man, he ran the spiel. Oh, you know, I'm the nigga that was really making that bread for Cap, if y'all didn't know. But I was the man making sure that bread came back to y'all clean, whatever. So I was like, boom, I heard him out. I was like, you know what I'm saying? So you telling me you could move them units like he was? He was like, and better. Because I come with that cheddar. I'm going to come with all that cheddar, folk. You know, that's how they talk. I'm going to come with all that cheddar, folk. You feel me? So I'm like, all right, bet. That next day, Kenny K dropping the same thing I was dropping Cap. 50 pack, 40s, like that. Whatever we make off that brick when we bust it, we gonna sit in that kitchen, we gonna cook that motherfucker up till we get that whole thing done. So that way we can lay off for 3-4 days. And we can just chill in the country, go on campus in Tuskegee. Ooh, they had some bad ones in Tuskegee. We be on campus. So now I'm dealing with this nigga Fat Rat. He bringing that money on Kenny K. Man, the Lord gonna strike me dead, Kenny K. That nigga was ICAP. He was ICAP plus. This nigga here, me and this nigga had to make $1 million before I got popped. So now, I'm dealing with the nigga Kenny K. By the time I look in my stash, Kenny K, the whole wall in my closet in Tuskegee, all my money was in there and them black tape look like them bricks when they come, you know, a nigga wrap that shit up in that black tape. So when a nigga gotta go back to the crib, in the cuff with the black tape with the shoelace and you cuff that bread in there in that cuff. You feel me? So I already had them things pre-rolled, you know what I'm saying, in the cuff in the crib. So when it's time to go down, get all my shit, just put them on shoestring, wrap black tape with the shoestring, and just dump that thing in the vent like how we do. So, bam. Right, this nigga done pumped me up, Kester. But the nigga ICAP, the brother-in-law that caught his own case, he done caught, I think it was 10 or 12 years he caught for that robbery he did. He got caught on that motherfucking robbery. So now, he locked up